day, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Savage Patria.
Or in certain languages, a durka 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 durka.
Team Police YouTube, we're only quoting Team Police.
Yes. Fair use. Fair use.
Mama twice in one day. Love you. Glad. You remember Maureen, bro?
Yes.
Okay. I was gonna say, if you didn't, I'll hit you.
It's been a while.
Been a while.
You know me, I lay low these days.
It's been a long time coming.
What
We
I
found
mean?
an older picture of Zorhan Mamdani. This was him campaigning fresh out the shower.
Fresh out the shower, you need to go back to the shower.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm a gonna grow. This is an older picture of Zorhan, so please don't upset with the man. This is just how he used to look. He don't look like this no more. We're gonna do two things. Not as terrorist-y as he used to look. He's much better now. He's much more polished now. But we're gonna do two things first. We're going to have you listen first to what he said, all right, because that's pivotal. We don't want nobody saying that we are either misquoting, lying about the man. Nope, we're going to listen to his own words first, and then we'll bring up his policies, and we'll go to the debate and all that stuff, okay? No, I don't. That was all fake. That was AI, just so you know. That was my AI voice. Hey, I didn't sing. See? AI. Ready? Zorhan Mamdani.
We clearly do not have the numbers as they are in this moment to win the radical legislation that we need to bring about and begin to believe that these kinds of results are sufficient. We have to continue to elect more socialists, and we have to ensure that we are unapologetic about our socialism. Now, we had an academic boycott campaign and one of the aspects of that was to fight to stop study abroad at universities in Israel that were complicit in the occupation, many of which through the development of weapons technology for the IDF. Now, by bringing the issue of Israel-Palestine apartheid to Bowdoin, you bring it front and center, it's harder to ignore. And then making sure that we move to dismantle that relationship. Those are things that you can do as a legislator, right?
You heard it himself. Okay, so he's radical and he is a socialist. Although he'll tell you on a different platform that he's not socialist, that is not what he said. So he's known for lying. Then he said his aunt was part of 9/11's aftermath, and she was so afraid to wear her hijab in public because she was afraid. Then you find out that she wasn't even here. And then he said, oh, no, my cousin, and pretty soon I'm sure it's going to end up being his third sister as a wife or something like that. I don't know. Eventually he's going to blame somebody else to do it, something Muslim. I don't know what he's going to end up saying, but he has not kept his story straight, like in any way, shape, form, or fashion. But you heard him say it. He is indeed a socialist, and he wants more socialists in America. Here's the problem. You bring socialism to America, by law, you should not be able to get into politics.
Yeah,
That's right.
So I don't know how exactly they're able to say that and still be elected. I'm still figuring that one out.
Well, it's not that hard though, because look at the voter base. They're all a bunch of retarded monkeys.
Yeah, that's true.
And being a socialist in America makes no sense because our Constitution is very clear on how we govern. We are a constitutional republic. Nowhere in it does it talk about socialism. So even trying to govern under socialism goes against the Constitution.
Period.
100%.
Period. Therein lies the biggest issue. Now, this is his platform. I don't know who he's paying for it, but he needs to get his third grader to stop making it. He thinks he's a superhero or something. You remember like the old 80s cartoons? Meanwhile, back in that kind of color scheme that he's using here.
Mighty Mouse.
Handyman.
Yeah. Handyman. Those are handyman colors, aren't they? Those are Handyman's colors. You know. Now I gotta find. Now I have to find it, and I think this was what really. This is it here. I am glad I thought about this now. All right, so, this is what I'm going to bring this down for a quick second. I think this is probably what really kickstarted his idea into running back in the day. Was this song?
Welcome to the New York gubernatorial debate. I'll be your DJ this evening. Take it away.
I represent the rent. It's too damn high party. People working 8 hours a
these
day,
guys.
40 hours a week. Some a third job. Why? The rent is too damn high. The people I'm here to represent can't afford to pay the rent. Cause rent is too damn high. The people.
So there you go.
That's what do they call it? What do they call
The Shmo Yoho.
Shmo Yoho.
Yeah, the Gregory brothers. Shout out to the Gregory brothers. Don't give us a strike. We love your stuff, man. We're just using it as a segue. Okay, don't strike us, man. We love y'all, especially all of you with the Ain't Nobody Got Time for That. That's one of my favorite ones y'all have ever done. Okay, so don't get
it up.
What is it?
Hide your kids.
Hide your
kids.
What? Man, come on. Y'all know how to do your stuff, so please don't strike.
I love hairy legs.
I love hairy legs. Turn blonde in the sun. Oh man, come on, y'all do some bangers, man, bangers. But I think that's what really caught his attention to make this particular website.
Makes sense.
New York is too expensive. Zorhan will lower costs and make life easier, except that he can't really do that. So let's figure out what he's going to do for housing. Freeze the rent.
Now, mind you, he lives in a rent-frozen apartment. So let that serve as your context.
A majority of New Yorkers are tenants, and more than 2 million of them live in rent-stabilized apartments. Wait. Okay, hold on. What he's going to freeze the rent? Okay. All right. These homes should be the bedrock of economic security for the city's working class. Instead, Eric Adams has taken every opportunity to squeeze tenants. How is he squeezing tenants? Anyway, anyway, man, I ain't gonna touch that one. With his hand-picked appointees to the Rent Guidelines Board, jacking up rents on stabilized apartments by 12.6% and counting, the most since a Republican ran City Hall. Let me get this right. So he's insisting that the rent guideline boards jack up the rents. Wouldn't that be socialism?
Yeah.
If you tell people how much they have to charge for rent.
Yeah.
Is that what and that's what he's gonna do? Okay. As mayor, Zorhan will immediately freeze the rent for all stabilized tenants. Man, that's only the stabilized tenants, and use every available resource to build the housing New Yorkers need and bring down the rent. So in other words, you're going to depend on government housing for your housing. Okay. The number one reason working families are leaving our city is the housing crisis. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. The mayor has the power to change that. Let's hear what you have to say.
Durka. Oh, no, that's not what you said.
I'm freezing your rent as the next mayor of New York City. Let's plunge into the details. More than 2 million New Yorkers live in rent-stabilized units, and their rents are set by the Rent Guidelines Board. The board is made up of 9 members, and the mayor appoints each one. Doing this, Eric Adams' board has raised the rent every year he's been in office. Makes sense for a guy who said, I am real estate. Currently, 8 of Adams' 9 appointees' terms are up and could be replaced tomorrow, and that's exactly what I would do. Rent freezes have happened before. De Blasio's board did it 3 times. I would do the same every year, only appointing those who understand that landlords are doing just fine. Last March, the board found that landlord incomes rose by nearly twice the increase of their expenses. The median income for a rent-stabilized household is $60,000 a year. Any rent hike could push them out of this city. For those landlords who need a little extra help, there's a city fund they can apply to. So here's to a new year, a new mayor, and the same rent.
Okay, you heard him. Okay, we have that out the way.
The same de Blasio who sat on his rear end and spoke to New Yorkers saying, if ever there was a time where you wanted to think about vaccines, just think, burgers and fries.
Burger and fries.
That same de Blasio?
Yeah.
Same one.
Did the rent freeze 3 times?
Let's do the most important thing, right? New York City Rent Guidelines Board. Guidelines. Okay, cool. How do I find an affordable apartment? How can I get help paying my rent? Is the rent I'm paying legal? How can I get something fixed in my apartment? Am I entitled to a renewal lease? How can I find legal assistance? These are frequently asked questions. Rent guidelines effective from October 1st, 2025 to September 30th, 2026 were adopted on June. And these recent adopted guidelines for stabilized apartment, lofts, and hotels are available in the rent guidelines section of our website. So let's see here. Notice is hereby given pursuant to the authority vested in the New York City Rent Guidelines Board by the Rent Stabilization Law of 1969, as amended, the Emergency Tenant Protection Act of 1974, as amended and implemented by the Resolution number 276 of 1974 of New York City Council, and in accordance with the requirements of Section 1043 of the New York City Charter, that the Rent Guidelines Board, RGB, that's nice, red, green, blue, hereby adopts the following levels of fair rent increases over lawful rent charged and paid on September 30th, 2025. These rent adjustments will apply to rent stabilization apartments with leases commencing on October 1st, 2025, and through September 30th, 2026, rent guidelines of loft units subject to Section 286, Subdivision 7 of the Multiple Dwelling Law are also included in this order. So, Lee, do me a quick favor, please, will you? Please give me, if you don't mind, look up the definition of a rent-stabilized apartment. This ought to be extremely enlightening for people. Because I don't want to have people use my definition of nothing. I'm the dummy. Don't forget, we are shills. We get paid by you.
Well... Based on New York City's definition or based on Google's AI?
Definitely. No, definitely New York's. Yes.
Okay, so let's see here. From the website of nyc.gov, rent stabilization is a form of rent regulation. It helps combat the city's housing crisis by making sure some units remain affordable. Almost half of all rental apartments in New York City are rent stabilized. Rent stabilized apartments are often most located in buildings containing 6 or more units, which were built before 1974. If you live in a rent-stabilized unit, you are entitled to additional protections and rights, so it is important to know your status. Now, let me see what it is that they define this as here. Which leads us back to the... So if you click on that link... So I clicked on the link that is hyperlinked about rent stabilization. And it threw me back to the NYC Rent Guidelines Board. And according to the Rent Guidelines Board, there is a difference between rent control and rent stabilization. And what is rent stabilization? NYC is a system of rent regulations known as rent stabilization, system enacted in 1969 when rents were rising sharply in many post-war buildings. The system has been extended and amended frequently. And now about 1 million apartments in the city are covered by rent stabilization. Rent stabilized tenants are protected from sharp increases in rent and have the right to renew their leases. The history of rent stabilization can be found in extensive detail to this link. So no real definition on what it means.
But what it is not just everybody that pays rent, correctly?
Correct.
Okay. So let's do this real quick. We got one more thing to do. Because we got to break this down. Let us find out exactly. So the population of New York is 8.48 million people. Okay? 8.48. You have about 1 million rent stabilized units. That's what they said. So that'd be an eighth of the population, right?
Correct.
So he wants to freeze rent for an eighth of New Yorkers. So let's find out how many homeowners are in New York. That'll be a great one right there. All right. Own homes in New York. All right. Home ownership stats. Let's find this out, shall we? New York.
6 million.
I don't want to ask. I don't want to know how what ages. I just need to know how many people are homeowners. All right, and this is the U. I don't want the U.S. I want New York specifically. Why are you guys so hell bent on not giving me the exact things I want? Okay, here we go. This might be it. Come on. The home ownership rate in New York in 2023.
Must have sent something in the private chat
25%. Okay. 25%. So that's not a whole lot of people either. So you're leaving a whole lot of folks untouched by your so-called plan, right? If I'm reading this correctly. So condos, about 60% are condos, but that doesn't tell me how many. So as of 2023, there is an estimated to be 466,000 single-family homes in New York in the city, with about 378,000 owner-occupied, as shown in charts 3. Finally, there are about 450,000 occupied apartments in cooperative buildings and another 18,000 condominiums, together accounting for 22% of the city's occupied housing stock. So if we look at this on a grand total, who he's actually helping is literally nobody. Again, they love saying the things really big and boisterous. But when you break down numbers, it does not work out to the benefit of New Yorkers. There are tons of people that rent that don't have the space of that particular coverage. They don't have rent stabilized places that they're renting from.
Right.
In fact, quite a few of them just rent straight from the government. They have, low income housing in New York. They have places that are not rent stabilized, built before World War. So you can't just say, overall, what I'm going to do is give you rent stabilization and freezing it for rent stabilized housing. You can't just say that. Overall, people just say, yeah, that's great. Now I'm going to get help with my rent. But then when you don't qualify, what they're going to tell you is, well, what we meant was.
Yeah.
That's what they're infamous for. So let's find out what he means by building affordable homes.
Oh.
We need a lot more affordable housing. But for decades, New York City has relied almost entirely on changing the zoning code to entice private development. Of course, because private development is better than government owned. And if you would just loosen the red tape, maybe they won't have to deal with as very high prices on the overhead, and they won't have to pass it on to the customer.
Mm-hmm.
See how that works? Anyway, with results they can, what?
Isn't that like basic economics?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
But remember, he's a socialist.
Yeah. With results that can fall short of the big promises. And the housing that does get built is often out of reach for working class who need it most. As mayor, Zorhan will put our public dollars to work and triple the city's production of permanently affordable, union-built, rent-stabilized homes, construction 200,000 new units over the next 10 years. I want y'all to really analyze the numbers, okay? Please. 200,000 new units over 10 years. Okay. What was the population again of New York? 8 million.
8 million. How many of them are in stabilized housing?
1 point.
And he's gonna add 200K.
200,000. Yep. And now if you put 4 people per unit, let's just say that, then you end up with what, 2, 4, 6, 8. So let's say 1 million people. You add another million to the growing. In fact, you're not adding the million. You're actually just relocating half of the ones that are in rent stabilized to a different location. And if you do add some more, say you do add the extra million. So now you have 2 million out of 8 million. And let's just say out of the 8 million, you have another 2 million that own their own homes. So now you still have another 4 million out in the cold that don't get any aid from what you're doing.
Right.
They're also workers, by the way. So you made some help for the 2 million, for 1 extra million people, and give them government provided housing, and that should be sufficient. Okay.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but the transplants of New Yorkers are sitting here reading this, going, "Yay!
Yay!"
Okay.
Make that make sense. For the additional housing we need, Zorhan will initiate a comprehensive plan for New York City to create a holistic vision for nothing was said right there, by the way. That was all word salad and fluff. That sounds like something that Kamala would say.
A holistic vision.
Yeah. Holistic vision for a holistic, put the hole in the wall and put your hole right through this. A holistic vision for affordability, equity, and growth.
There it is.
There it is. The planning will allow New York City to address the legacy of racially discriminatory zoning, increase density near transit hubs, end the requirement to build parking lots, and proactively chart our future. Now, hear me out. If you've ever been to New York, which I unfortunately had the displeasure of going to.
Me too.
You don't have room to put up these locations. Here's what I would suggest you do, Zorhan. This is just me. If you want to win, and you do win, clean up New York.
That part.
Just clean it up. I mean, I've probably passed by at least 7 streets on my way to the courthouse, and every street had at least 50 rats.
And it stinks.
It was horrible. And this was at 5 a.m. in the morning I was walking.
It doesn't seem like they're always doing construction in New York.
Always.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go.
The street was horrible, man. Like you had to walk around everything.
Yeah, just everywhere is construction.
And always construction on nothing. They're not even really because I've never seen the actual workers out there, just the structural stuff to keep you from walking in the street.
Yeah.
I never saw a single worker going up at 5 or coming back after at 6 o'clock in the afternoon.
They just put scaffolding up. Just let's put some scaffolding up right here. Have people walk this way.
That is crazy work. So let's hear what he has to say.
Let's talk about the housing crisis.
Yeah.
Last summer, for the first time in 15 years, New Yorkers were allowed to apply for a lottery to get help paying their rent. It was open for 1 week only. More than 630,000 people applied. The big prize? Getting on a wait list with
Let me get this number again. 600,000 people. 8 million people. Okay, continue.
200,000 other New Yorkers. This is the housing crisis in 2025. Unless you're wealthy, it's basically impossible to find or stay in a home that you can afford.
But
so you're saying that New York is very wealthy because you say you have 1 million in unaffordable housing, but they can't afford but they're in it. And so you're going to add another 1 million. And let's say I'll give you another 1 million for low income and projects. Okay, let's say we put that in there. So let's say you have a total of 3 million after your 10-year process is over. Are you then suggesting that the other 5 million people are rich? Is that what you're suggesting? Or maybe just another, but you also want to tax the 1% that you consider rich in New York that have the money. So if you have 1% that's rich, I'm really confused about the money. Just the layout here. If you have 1% that's rich, so you're looking at what, 100,000 people at most?
I think that's what we came up.
Yeah, 80,000 people. So you have 80,000 people, and then that's rich out of 8 million plus, and then you want to tell me that 3 million of them are in already rent stabilized apartments. Well, 2 million are in rent stabilized or low income. You want to add another 1 million to that, so 3 million. That leaves still an excess of 5 million people who might need housing. So let's add another 1 million to the already own a home. Okay, let's say that you have 1 million that own homes. So that still leaves you 4 million people that need the assistance that you have no intention of helping.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, continue.
It's time city government actually did something about this.
Sure.
I've already told you about my commitment to freeze the rent for every single rent stabilized tenant. That covers about half of all New York City renters.
Does it though? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
The math ain't mathing.
the fact that he's a Nepo baby is just astounding to me that he doesn't even consider any of this.
I'm pretty sure we just established that that's not how this works. The numbers that are put out there by your own people says that it's not half of New York that rents, first of all, and half of the renters are not in rent stabilized homes. In fact, that's not the case at all. It's about 1 million. unless you tell me only 2 million people rent homes in New York, which by then proxy means that the rest are either homeless or they own their own homes. So that there's no rent, there's no housing crisis in New York if that's the case. Again, the math ain't mathing. Sir, with all due respect. Okay, well, I don't respect you, but I mean, with all due respect for the platform I'm on, so.
But what about the other half? We need more housing, a lot more. As mayor, I'll build 200,000 new, permanently affordable, union-built, rent-stabilized homes over the next 10 years.
Homes, not apartments, homes. Okay, ask yourself, where is he going to put 200,000 homes? There's only one place he can really do that in terms of, not I mean location in New York, but in terms of how he's going to build it, it has to be in a commune type location. Shouldn't you think that about 200,000? You can't space them out.
Almost like a smart city.
A smart city, right? Yeah. Okay, homes. All right, cool. Continue.
Tripling what we're currently set to build. Any 100% affordable project gets fast-tracked. No more pointless delays. We're going to unleash the public sector, but we're still going to need more housing. That means taller buildings near subway stations, upzoning wealthy neighborhoods, and eliminating the requirement to build parking lots.
You see how quickly he said that? Let's go back to what he just said, because I think many might have missed what he just inferred of doing. Listen carefully again. You know how they complain about, what's that word? What's that, gentrification? Remember they complain about that word all the time, right?
Oh, yeah.
Let's just go back to what he just snuck in there. Listen.
Taller buildings near subway stations, upzoning wealthy neighborhoods.
Upzoning wealthy. So making wealthy neighborhoods wealthier.
Poor.
Moving ghettos into wealthy neighborhoods.
Oh.
Yeah.
So creating even more of a wealth gap.
Yeah.
But it's for the people.
So he's going to rezone. Upzoning refers to the process of changing zoning laws to allow for increased development density in a specific area. What do you think that means for the people that want to have their house with a certain amount of space between each house? You can't do that no more. Who did that? Cuba. I remember now. For those of you who are unaware of how Cuba handled, let's bring him down for a second. For those of you who might be unaware of how Cuba handled their housing in the late 60s. Yes, it's been that long. 70s around there. They decided that you would not be able to have a certain amount of things. So like you couldn't have a certain amount of houses, you can only own one. You couldn't have a certain amount of cars, you could only own one. And eventually they clamped down on food things. You could only buy certain things. And they would make sure to monitor it because you know how it started? They check your bank account. Eventually all the banks became government owned. And the banks would start to report you if you decide somehow you want to make more money. You can't. You're going to have to give the balance of your money to the government. So they start to make sure that the housings went to government-owned people so that when you needed housing, the government would decide whether or not that was for you. Kind of like how Zorhan is making it sound now. All right, New Yorkers, y'all wanted this. All right, cool. Continue, Zozo.
And eliminating the requirement to build parking lots. But we should guide these changes through comprehensive planning, not a piecemeal approach.
Oh, so you mean you're going to take 10 years to plan it, and by that time you'll be gone, and it will actually never be implemented. But in that meantime, you're going to destroy New York economically and just right off in the sunset with your paycheck and lobbying funds that you're going to get. Gotcha. Okay, cool.
New York City is a majority tenant town, but too often our government works for the landlords. It's time to take the power back and build housing for the many. Let's get to work.
In other words, we're going to remove the power that the landlord has, especially if they own the building, mind you. So that now you can tell the person who owns the building what they can and can't do with their building when it comes to rent.
Right.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That is pretty sure they'll tell you, well, if you have to tell people how they're going to be able to rent. And if you tell somebody, well, I don't want to rent to low income because they won't be able to afford the rent, then you're going to have to drop your rent. No, because I have overhead that I'm paying for and I will not drop it. Well, if you don't drop the rent, we're going to make sure we tax you more. And if we tax you more, then, you're done. Anyway.
Why does his name bug me? What's that name? Zohan? What was that movie?
Oh.
Every time I see his
Cruise?
name.
Was it Tom Hanks? Was it?
No, it was
No.
Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler, Zohan.
Yeah, there you go. His next one is cracking down on bad landlords. Bad landlords. Let's see what this is. 1 in 10 renter households reported a lack of adequate heat last winter. 1 in 4 reported mice and rats in their homes. 500,000 live in poor quality. I wonder where those rats are coming from. Let me think about this.
Subway?
If most of your housing is in the city and they complain about rats, where do rats come from? Rats usually come from poor maintenance in the city, but if you don't clean the city, then there are more rats. And if there are more rats, they're going to look for more places to be. If they're looking for more places to be, they're going to go to home. So it's not the tenants or the landlord's fault. It's the city. These people. Every New Yorker deserves a safe and healthy place to call home. You can't make this stuff up no matter what you do. Yeah, I'm sorry, you can't make this stuff up. There's no way.
Jeez.
This is crazy work. Wow. Anyway. Safe place to go home. That's why Zorhan will overhaul the mayor's office to protect tenants and coordinate code enforcement under one roof. Code enforcement for the house, but not where the rats actually. Okay, let me get you all right on this. Okay, so if you have a house and the house is on J Street, and on J Street you have 5-6 houses going straight down, but on J Street you also have a trash collection problem by the city. Okay, so the city decides they're going to crack down on landlords so that they keep certain codes up in the home. So like say you need to have this particular type of sheetrock, you have to have this particular kind of wood, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. Did you guys know that rats can chew through metal? Did you know that? I don't know if y'all were aware of what rats can really do. They can do some mad damage, okay? They can chew through a lot of piping, any PVC, done, okay? Done. So you decide to change the codes for the house, but you never clean the streets. Now you have a mad problem with a massive amount of rats. No amount of code enforcement is going to change how much rats there are. And they will chew through anything and come into your house. Now, suppose there are tons of rats in your house after you've agreed to every one of their criteria. Who is to blame then? Still the landlord? I bet you it won't be the city. I bet you it won't be the city. That's crazy. Anyway, I'm making sure. Go ahead.
They should just first focus on, like you said, cleaning up the city. Go into these sewers, cleaning up the rats, get as many of them out as best you can, finding a way to contain them or get rid of them.
Yeah.
And then start focusing on rebuilding and doing all this other stuff.
And man, look, let me get this here. I'm gonna bring this up. I want to. Rats can chew through metals like aluminum and lead.
Damn.
The only thing they cannot chew through harder metals like steel or aluminum or titanium, which they don't use a whole lot of in New York. The steel they might use is the rebar, and in some cases government buildings or even like commercial buildings. But for homes, most of the pipes are done with lead or aluminum. Why do you think there's such a big problem? Because they can chew through that crap, bro. They can chew through it.
And I heard the rats are like,
aren't they like
monsters out
Yeah.
there?
No, they are. Okay. So I didn't believe it until I saw it with my own 2 eyes. Okay. Walking to the courthouse, I could hear them arguing in trash. And mind you, there was trash the whole walk. There were bins, but the bins were so overladen with bags of garbage. There was nothing you could do to avoid them. And at almost every other step, they would scurry across the street. And when I say scurry, you might think you barely saw it. You had to stop Them things will trip you.
Mm.
They will trip you. They're okay. I saw one, and I'm not joking. This is not me exaggerating. Okay, the length of the rat was about that.
That's a small chihuahua.
Without the tail, about that tall, and I'm talking about that big around. They were. I thought I'm in The Princess Bride.
That's a chihuahua.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah.
I thought I was in The Princess Bride.
That's crazy.
You remember The Princess Bride with those big rat things in the swamp?
Yeah.
That's what I thought I was watching, Princess Bride.
Damn.
Did
they hiss at you like?
Well, they were hissing at each other. They were fighting in the street.
Yeah,
It was
man.
gang war, turf wars, man.
Master Splinter for real.
Golly, I was waiting for the turtles to jump out and say, Master Splinter. Tenants will be able to schedule and track inspections with the revamped 311. If a landlord refuses to make a repair, the city will do it and send them the bill. And if the most extreme cases, when an owner demonstrates consistent neglect of their tenants, the city will decisively step in and take control of their properties.
So that's quite literally.
Oh, so that's the goal. Because it's so infested with rats, and it's been going on for so many years. Their goal is to take over the property.
That is
they're not going to stop it.
That is crazy.
So Zorhan openly admits that his housing policy for quote bad landlords is government seizure. Not letting the market take care of it, letting the government take care of it.
Man, the worst landlords will be put out of business. All right, continue.
I'm standing here on West 83rd Street in front of a building owned by one of the worst landlords in New York City. It has racked up hundreds of code violations. After years of neglect and ongoing pressure from tenants, the city finally stepped in and sued the landlord. But even that didn't fix these issues. We are talking about a lack of heat, a lack of hot water, and instead, leaks, rats, a literal beehive in the wall. Housing isn't just more expensive than ever, it's falling apart. But what's Mayor Adams doing about this? The same thing as his real estate donors. Nothing.
But you just said the city stepped in.
Yeah, he did.
I'm confused. You said he did nothing, but just prior to you said he did do something. So which is it? Okay, anyway.
That's why I'm announcing a plan to overhaul the mayor's office to protect tenants, bringing code enforcement under one roof and making sure that agencies are working together to hold bad landlords accountable. Starting on day one, we will expand the city's special enforcement programs, doubling fines for hazardous violations and tripling them for conditions that are immediately dangerous.
Are you going to do the same for your own government when the streets are filled with litter? You're going to fire anybody or fine yourself for not being able to clean up the streets in time? Are you going to do that?
Hey, I wonder how many rats infest City Hall.
He's one. Oh, sorry.
Wrong rat.
Is he going to get a fine because he can't control the rats out of City Hall? Or can't control the heating problem or the water problem or the leaks? I guarantee it's happening in City Hall right now.
Let's be clear, though. He's a socialist. Of course, he's not going to do anything to take self-accountability.
That's right.
Look, I'm gonna show y'all something. I'm gonna show you this one here because this is something that you need to see for yourself. Okay. Well, since he thinks that is a tenant and a landlord issue, let's see exactly what's been happening in New York. That's not to do with that.
It's all around. People.
Let's back that up.
Rats all around. People on the Upper West Side are complaining about the rodents swarming two popular locations. A lot of people find the video creepy. Dave Carlin reports on what's being done to get rid of the rats.
These rats are rambunctious here at West 9.
Did you see the pigeon? Look at the size difference between a pigeon and a rat. Let's go back. There is a pigeon. There are rats. Pigeon, rat.
They're about the same
They're
size.
the size of a bird. Okay. What the hell is going on?
What?
Wow.
Rats are rambunctious here at West 96th Street and Broadway.
Everybody's talking about it.
A swarm is how Linda Colarusso and her neighbors describe it.
We've definitely seen rats over there by the median and the entrance going into the subway.
City Council member Gail Brewer says one problem is people feeding pigeons and the rats take over the buffet. The public is being asked to remember, if you're feeding wildlife, including pigeons, you may also be feeding swarms of rats.
So now it's the public's fault? I thought the city was supposed to keep and maintain the beauty of the city. I thought that was the city's job. I thought that was the government's job. I didn't know what that is. Yeah. Interesting.
At the start of summer, Mayor Adams said rat complaint calls to 311 are down, coinciding with the city's rollout of new trash containers in some areas. But Brewer says
the only areas those are in are high value areas. Not even next to the courthouse in Manhattan do you find proper trash disposal. Not even there. Look, I was just there, and Arlene's in the chat. She can tell you the whole place is funky, nasty, stinking with a whole bunch of garbage everywhere. Outside the courthouse where Diddy was, were rats. They were fighting out. They were running around everywhere down there.
They was out there saying free Diddy.
No, correct me if I'm wrong, though. Like, at a certain point in time, when a city faces a large infestation of rats, that's considered a bad omen, historically.
Mm-hmm. Look, I just know if it was Splinter, he'd be fighting bad guys, but it's not Splinter; it's something else. So,
hey,
he's not noticing.
I mean, if you think about it, if you had property, say you had land, and you had a rat infestation there, in a city, the county comes out and inspects that land. What would they tell you about that land if you don't get rid of it? It's uninhabitable, right?
Yeah.
You can't have people here. You can't live here. This is uninhabitable. So they would shut it down and quarantine that land until the infestation was gone. So how come they can't do the same thing for the city?
You'd have to shut New York down.
You have to shut it down till we clean it up.
The whole of New York would have to get shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could stop tourism, right? You could stop things like that. We're not going to send you any more funds. We got to clean the city up because this is disgusting.
Mm-hmm. A big change.
And I get as many complaints now as I've always gotten,
including ones to this Tots Playground near the West 67th Street entrance to Central Park.
Park full of rats.
It's where Marina.
Not Ben. Ben, the two of us need to look no more.
The rat is as big as a wheel, man. Come on.
Look at that rat.
Jeez.
Barone with stroller and baby dodged one dead rat on the way in.
Oh my God. The rats are everywhere. It's insane.
Rats in the strollers, rats are on my feet with children. We wrote to the both parks and health department. I need to convene a task force.
There's garbage all around, so that's really where they're coming from, the garbage.
Rat removal is on all of us, together making it harder for the rodents to feast on.
Oh, stop. It belongs to the city. The city should be doing their job. They're not removing it once you throw it in the trash can.
That's right.
If you're not removing the garbage and we keep throwing garbage, it's going to overflow. You're not cleaning up your job. Come on, man. Bro.
And is the Junotard blaming the people for it?
Yes.
Wow.
What is that one disease you can get from rat feces? Was it bubonic
plague?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wouldn't you think they'd have a problem with that out there?
They might. They're just not telling you.
Wasn't there an outbreak locally here on shores once earlier, a couple of years ago?
I remember something.
I mean, that's like a serious health issue because rat feces and dry rat piss, and it dries up, and then the wind blows, and it's in the dust and the sand and dirt. You breathe it in. That's how people get bubonic plague.
Right.
That's where the zombie apocalypse starts, right there in New York.
New York. This is 2015. New York City. Rats carry fleas and other parasites capable of transmitting bubonic plague and other virulent diseases. A new study reports. The bugs they found included oriental rat fleas, a type of flea that can transmit bubonic plague, the bacterial illness known as the Black Death that wiped out millions of people in New York during the Middle Ages.
Why's it got to be called Black Death?
Because it is. When you die, you turn black. Look at it.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
Even when your blood gets dry, it turns black. I'm just saying.
Garbage and bird feed as the city finds other and more effective ways to eliminate them. Dave Carlin, CBS News, New York.
That's the face I'd make too, lady.
Is that a lady, though?
I don't know, but I'm going to call it that for now until I know better.
That looks like a man, baby.
Golly. But anyway, Zorhan has a plan to find other people for his inadequacies.
And when a really bad landlord, like this guy, refuses to fix it, the city's going to step in, make the repairs, and send them the bill. If that doesn't work, the city's taking over the building. We're putting the worst landlords out of business.
Here's the problem, Zorhan. You can't. Now, you can probably shut it down for code violations. I'm sure you can. But you can't just take the building. That's not maybe that's not how it works, baby. Sorry.
Let me ask you a question. So, who owns government housing, Section 8?
Government, right?
Yeah, the Department of Housing.
All right, Department of Housing, government. And what does Section 8 usually look at with government-ran houses? They have leaks. They have all types of issues, heating problems, water problems. The same issues that they're complaining about with this being a privately owned building. It's the same thing. It's the same way the government handles it when they're in charge. So it's not going to change with the government in charge. It's going to get worse, I believe.
You're not wrong.
These people.
And we're going to transform 311 by bringing the latest in cutting-edge technology. Scheduling appointments.
What the hell was that? You creepy pedo. What are you doing?
He's trying to be edgy. You know, TikTok influencer edgy.
Creepy is what the heck he is.
Inspectors, so you actually know when they're showing up to your apartment. And the best part, you're gonna pay for this! But actually, bad landlords are gonna pay for this. We're going to fund this expanded enforcement in the most obvious way. By actually collecting the fines and enforcing the violations the Adams administration has spent 4 years ignoring. Everybody says housing's a human right. Let's start acting like it.
No one says that. You do. Socialist says that.
Housing enforcement sounds like brown shirts to me.
That is crazy work. And then supporting homeowners that need and ending deed theft. Deed theft. 25% of all New York homeowners spend more than half their income on housing, a burden felt by most acutely in our city's immigrant communities and Black and Latino neighborhoods.
There's that virtue signal.
Okay, buddy. Zorhan will create a new office of deed theft prevention to protect homeowners from scam artists.
It's his people that are doing it.
He'll fix the tax system so the city's wealthiest neighborhoods pay their fair share.
Oh, gosh. There it is again.
Fair share.
Help homeowners comply with local law 97. He'll end the tax lien sale. In other words, if you own a home and you're complying, you are now liable to be paying more in property taxes because he thinks everybody's robbing somebody else that owns a home that they sold it to when it's actually through the banks. I'm not quite sure how the homeowner is that to blame, but hey. Listen, people. This guy is a liar. Straight up, unequivocal liar. Just period. And I don't know how people are not seeing through it, but I understand why they're not seeing through it, because the majority of people, I'm sorry to say this, New Yorkers, the majority of people that like him are retarded. I'm just going to call you what you are, man. I'm not feeling bad for saying that. If you vote for Zorhan, you're retarded. Remedial, short bus, window liquor, you know, you name it. Crayon eating, retard. Anyway, let's see what he's really like when he's not being, when he's, you know, acting out.
This guy is
He does, because you're screaming at him and he's not doing anything.
It's very performative.
Yeah.
Very performative.
And we're bored.
Yeah, and what is he talking? What is he even screaming about?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
But my question: how is he going to pay for all these things he wants to do? Because what's going to end up happening? He wants to tax the rich. We all know that.
Uh-huh.
So increase the taxes on the rich. There's not a lot of millionaires, which we discussed a few episodes ago. So eventually, all these millionaires that are most likely conservative are going to say, you know what? I'm not going to be governed by stinking communist. So I'm taking my money and I'm moving about the city. So he loses that money. And then Trump's already talked about, like, hey, we're probably not going to fund the communists. We're going to cut off federal funding to them. So how does he plan on?
So what he intends to do is, it doesn't matter if you are a company that exited New York. If you go and do business in New York, let's say you're a business in Florida or a company or corporation in Florida, for instance, and you have to do business in New York City, he intends to institute his corporate tax rate policy on your business, on your company, in order to fund it. Basically, he's going to raise the corporate tax rate to match that of New Jersey, which we all know New Jersey is a kind of sort of a dead end when it comes to industry and commercial sectors. So he's going to do that with New York, on top of taxing the 1%, which in fact, if you're a millionaire and billionaire, you're more like the 10%er. So he's going to do that to you. And he's going to definitely hollow out the middle class with his housing projects and stuff like that. So it's extreme taxation on those who make the most money, while financially castrating New York City is how he intends to pay for it.
You know, speaking of financially castrating, in 2023, let me bring this up here real quick. In 2023, 158 companies left New York, along with $1 trillion in income. If Zorhan does what he plans to do, expect that to go to 3. He's going to lose way more than 158 coming in. This is only 2023, mind you. This is not years and years ago. This was only 2 years ago. Okay. I just want y'all to be aware that New York is falling apart quickly, not slowly, quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Quickly.
And I say let them. If this is what these New Yorkers want, or these transplants want, that come into New York, flood New York and vote for communists, and they're not even from the city, they're not native-born New Yorkers, and they get this guy in, let them get what they voted for. Let it crumble, let it fall.
Yeah.
Until they push him up out of there.
Mm-hmm.
This is them, the debate. This is the last one I'm going to show you.
The 3 leading candidates in the race to lead the nation's most
Always a
popular
gay
city.
dude. Always a gay dude. What is it? Why y'all got? Anyway, no, leave it alone. Leave it alone.
On the debate stage for the final time last night. Each of them getting in some blows before early voting begins Saturday. Listen.
Andrew Cuomo will spend much of tonight attacking me. He is a desperate man, lashing out because he knows that the one thing he's always cared about, power, is now slipping away from him.
You have never had a job. You've never accomplished anything. There's no reason to believe you have any merit or qualification for 8.5 million lives.
Zorhan, your resume could fit on a cocktail napkin. And Andrew, your failures could fill a public school library in New York City.
Woo! CBS News Executive Director of White House and Politics, Finn Gomez, joins me now to digest what
Why did they all look so goofy looking, man? What is it?
I'm gonna guess he talks a little bit something like that. This is what I can. That's the face he's making right there. Mr. Cuomo talked to Mr. Zorhan about the things he talked about because my glasses are too tight.
Just heard there, Finn. Good morning. This was a heated debate.
See how right I am.
But for New Yorkers who've yet to decide who they want to be the next mayor, who really made a solid impression?
Yeah, I know it's October 23rd, Errol, but it definitely felt like July 4th last night, following those fireworks, those rhetorical fireworks from the contenders last night. But speaking to Cuomo supporters last night, this was the version of Cuomo they hoped to see in the previous debate, pressing the 34-year-old Mamdani, the progressive in this race, on his comparative inexperience.
No. Call him what he is.
Communist. Socialist. Yeah.
He's a communist. And that was really all the debate was, a bunch of mudslinging, crap throwing. That's it. Nothing of substance. Neither Cuomo or Mamdani. I'm not too sure about the other guy. He hasn't had anything to say much. He came, I think he was a former military, isn't he?
Guardian Angel?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the founder of the Guardian Angels.
Yeah. But that's all that that's all that he touts, is the fact that he started this and he was a part of this, and he really brought nothing to the table from the first debate.
He might be the one to clean up crime, though.
That's about all.
Yeah, that's about it. But outside of that, I don't know.
Or clean up the rats. I don't know.
Go on and get Cuomo back in there, right? Just don't.
Look, it might be better than what they had before.
Yeah.
I don't know what to make of either one of them. I mean, it's just called crazy to me.
I mean, out of the three, they're all weak. It's like AJ said, that it's like trying to choose the best house in the worst neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's what this whole New York mayoral race is like.
It's not going to go well for New York. Period.
Nope.
When is this actual election?
I don't even know.
It's like November 4th, right?
Next year?
This year. Or is it next year? It has been next year.
AJ would know. AJ knows everything about New York.
AJ's not a New Yorker. Is AJ a New Yorker?
Yeah,
he is.
Let's find out right now. November 4th.
This year?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
November 4th.
Going, if he wins, going to get the Statue of Liberty up out of there, going to move it to like Texas or something, or throw it in the ocean.
Are you gonna go back to New York to vote? You can do that. That's what New Yorkers do. They never really stop being New Yorkers, right? So you can just go there and vote, right? Can't you, AJ? Just go and vote? No? Can you? Can you? No, come on, man. You know that you can do it. And just hey, I'm gonna give you the blueprint. Here's what you do: you go back dressed as a rat costume. You'll blend right in. They'll never think that you're not a New Yorker. You look just like him.
And you go over there dressed like Spike Lee, with the glasses
and singing "Candy Rain." Curtis Lewa. There it is. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. That's Zorhan. You see, we did better. I didn't call him nothing except Burka, Durka, Durka, Shmirka, Burka.
We talked about it backstage. We did talk about
just a little bit.
I got it out of my system. Okay?
Yeah.
I got it out before I came online to mess with people. Because last time we covered him, I went too hard and we got the video taken down. So
that's right.
Thankfully, we weren't monetized then, so it wasn't a strike.
Yeah, we was dirkering when we should have been shirkering. Last time we said more Dirk instead of Shirker.
Way more. What? Hey, so was AJ here last time when that dude came in? When we were talking about
Prince?
No, the Candace show. Was AJ here?
No,
AJ
he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
AJ wasn't here.
No,
AJ, you missed a good one. You'd have been mad at us or mad at me. You'd have been mad, but you would have been happy with the Nigerian prince that was in the chat. He came in hot and heavy for Candace.
Marlon was being Marlon, though.
I was going off on Candy, and I was imitating Nigerian for the most part. Oh, you missed a good one. You got to go back and watch it, boy. It's at 1,000+ views already.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. For the whole show, this was me.
I don't want peace. I want problems always.
The whole show, that's how I was against that dude.
Yeah. He was getting mad too.
Yeah. You have a soft spot for Candace? I know that's your girl. But you ain't her type. You ain't Charlie Kirk. Oh, sorry, my bad. You don't have a long, tall, majestic white neck. You know, you don't hate fishing like Charlie did. You know,
and you listen to too much hip hop.
Yeah, no, but she liked hip hop. Remember, now she really loved it.
Yeah, that's right.
It's black excellent now. So that's the only saving grace that he got to get in there. I mean, all you gotta do is get rid of George first, but you know that should be easy. That should be easy. Become Catholic too. You gotta be Catholic though.
Yeah, you gotta ask about Mother Mary.
Pray the rosary.
Praise the rosary. Yeah.
Hail Marys.
You have to quote rap lyrics too in text messages.
Yeah. And make sure you misspell a lot.
Yeah.
Lowercase G forgot, all of that good stuff. You got to do it all. You know.
Make sure the text messages don't have a timestamp.
Yeah, that part.
Either, yeah. And here's how you really get in. Find yourself a nice white girl, then go talk to her. She'll really want you then.
Yeah.
No. You have to. If you love history, you will become Catholic. That's what she said.
Yeah.
You know? Get to it, girl. Man, come on. Get that Catholic genes going, man. Get you some wafer bars, and in fact,
really start practicing this.
Yes, yeah. Start. Here's how you start. Go be an altar boy.
That's perfect. I think he's too old to be.
Yeah, he's too old to be.
No, he's not. Just shave the beard. He looks young.
Yeah.
If AJ were to shave, AJ would look 10 years old. Shave, altar boy, game, set, match. What?
Yeah, that is true.
And you're strong enough to fend them off if they try to do anything, but at least you'd be in.
And he could dance. He could dance for the priest.
There you go. What? A priestly dance?
Pop locking and hip hop dances.
Candace gonna be up there dancing with you, bro. Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? No. You wouldn't. Trust me, they like that kind of stuff. That's entertainment. Look at what they did to Africa. I'm sorry. That's what that just saying. Catholics love them African kids. What you talking about?
They sure do.
Oh, gosh.
They like their organs.
Just I didn't say it. YouTube, that was him.
What did I say?
YouTube, I didn't say it. Okay, I didn't. That was him.
Did it slip out?
Something slipped out.
YouTube, what he meant was from the organs, you know, the big piano organ. That's
what you guys talking about, organ?
Yeah,
that thing.
Pianos.
Yeah.
Make sure we get that right, YouTube. We're not talking about whatever you might think that was. That organ statement was about pianos. Okay?
Yeah, that's exactly
pipe organs.
Pipe organs, yeah. Yeah. Phew. Dodge that.
They do like.
Oof.
Beans, kidney beans.
Yeah, beans. Oh, let me stop before we get us in trouble, man.
Yeah.
The way my mind is working, I was like, they do like.
Woo, we're gonna go swing some incense and be back on Friday.
Man. Damn, it's already Wednesday, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is Wednesday.
So before we go, hey, what do you think is gonna happen on the 1st with these SNAP benefits? You think it's gonna be riots?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Don't go to your local Walmart. That's all we gotta say.
Yeah.
Now, hey, if you live in a regular place, you don't gotta worry about it. But if you live next to them people, and that goes for white and black, by the way, and Hispanic and Asian. If you live around them people who really market in EBT, stay home.
Mm-hmm.
Shop now for another 2 weeks ahead.
Yeah,
that's right.
Trust me, do that. Get out their way. Because they're going to be coming playing ludicrous. Move! Get out the way. Get out the way. Get out the way. That's what they're going to be playing coming through Walmart. And their lights went out. It'll be crazy.
Or you just go to Sprouts. You ain't got to worry about it. The food's too healthy at Sprouts. They ain't going to be there. I'm just saying. Go to Sprouts. Whole Foods, Sprouts. They ain't going to be there.
Yeah, don't go to Waffle House. For sure, don't go to Waffle House.
I don't go there.
Stay home. So we'll catch you guys come Friday. Make sure you do what you know you're supposed to do, which is support us the best way you know how. How is that, Mr. Lee?
Like, share, comment, subscribe, and we will see you Friday. Peace.